Okay, hello. This is tips and tricks video is a little bit different. Um, Mom requested asking about one about not rushing in, knowing when to go in, stuff like that. So this is gonna be more towards ranked modes. So I have two examples or two games that I can go through. The first one is gonna be an example of a game in A rank because I feel like it's easier for me to explain things I'm doing when it's a lower rank and things are a little bit slower. And the second game is gonna be stuff that's in X rank. Uh, and we'll see how I do. I haven't really analyzed my own gameplay in this sort of way. So let's get started. Hopefully this works. So for the A rank one, it's tower control. It's gonna be, well, both games are gonna be Mori towers. And I'm gonna play the Kensa Splatter Shot. I unfortunately don't have a K Pro on my alt because I'm not high enough level. But it will give sort of an idea still of what to watch out for, what to be aware of. So yeah, let's start. So I guess the main rule of thumb that I have is you want you want to generally know where everyone is as well as you can, and you don't want to be caught by surprise. Because what I notice a lot when people rush in to situations, they're caught by surprise by like an enemy being somewhere they didn't expect or a bomb that they didn't see, stuff like that. We'll skip ahead the loading of it. There's a lot you can work on when it comes to things like awareness and stuff like that, but this is like a small piece that you can focus on. Alright, so we're starting off. What I usually like to say is that at the beginning of the game you want to kind of have a plan of what you're gonna do. It doesn't matter if it's like good or bad, but just a plan. So generally my plan is to go to the right or left. Uh, since it's A rank and I'm an X rank player, there are some things I take advantage of with the not so good players. So this situation over here, if we rewind it, I see that there is a pro shooting over here, and I want to kind of push them because I don't expect them to know that I'm there paying attention. But as soon as I see them shooting at me, then I decide to back up because they definitely outrange me in that fight, and it would be just a bad idea just to try to go forward and hope that my shots reach them. So I back up, kind of make sure I have some paint. Luckily my roller flanked them so that we could move forward. See my teammates moving forward and the other players not really paying attention. So I push ahead, hoping that my teammates are on the tower. So still kind of pushing ahead. One thing also to practice is looking up at the weapons that are displayed by the timer, because that shows you when your teammates are up or down, or when the enemy is up and down. So I know there are 3 down at this point, so I'm comfortable to stay up. I climb up the wall, try to get a good advantage on them, because at this point we have good map control, but I want to make sure that the tower is protected further up than where the tower actually is. Uh, let's see. I see them painting, I try to get behind them, doing a good job with that. Keeping up the pressure, hoping that my teammates stay on the tower. I do get the checkpoint, which is good. Keep up the pressure. I trade on this fight. So as soon as I go down, Another thing about awareness is as soon as I'm down, I don't worry about being down. I take a look at my map and kind of get an idea of what the situation is happening. So I see we have a lot of map control in the middle, teammates on the tower, teammates pushing forward, stuff like that, and one teammate is respawning. So I'm already planning if I'm gonna jump to someone or not. Well, now at this point, I saw that two of my teammates went down, and then the tower rider went down, so now there's not really a jump to. Well, except for Squid Game, I decided to jump to them. And now when you're coming back and all your teammates have been down, you want to kind of look around, get an idea of what the situation is. We still have plenty of map control, and we can see that since the tower has a yellow beam, we know at least one person is riding the tower. But we want to keep an eye on, or try to keep an eye on where everyone else is, which can be easy sometimes. On Moray it can be difficult as well. I'm pressuring the tower. I know I don't have to run in. I see the rollers, so I flank them. I try to push this pro, do some fancy wall movement work, and luckily get them. So I know I got 3 people, so there's one more currently to worry about. Oh, the roller's back already. So we're doing a good job getting kills and things like that. Making sure my teammates are okay with their fights. Using my missiles to see where people are at. This part was funny because I'm pretty sure they didn't know where I was, but the torpedo kind of tattletaled on me. I told them that I was on the wall. And there are also 3 people there, which I wasn't aware of, so that was my bad. So now at this point on the map, I keep pausing too late. I see that we don't have a lot of control in the middle now, which is something I'll think about, that we have to make sure that we get map control, things like that. When I'm respawning, I definitely won't jump to whoever's on tower because that's like jumping into a pool of sharks. Teammates are going down, probably because they're kind of rushing in, not paying attention to the situation. I go up here and try to pressure the tower from a safe distance rather than trying to run in with my gun, because I know that will just cause trouble. And then that's the point where I know I can jump down, try to pressure them. And now I'm just trying to get some paint control. I believe this is where one of my teammates DC'd, Arkansas Glue goes. I don't know exactly when. I guess all the way back here, wow. So I didn't realize they DC'd until much later, which is sort of my fault because I'm not looking up at where we're at or focus on the game. But you can't, sometimes it's just hard to focus on everything, so you do what you can. So right now, we have the lead, just trying to get some map control, not do anything too risky with fighting the junior. Wait for teammates to come back. I see the roller coming up, so yeah, that was a good example of just kind of waiting and seeing, because when people are very antsy and anxious to hold forward and go somewhere, that's your good chance to just kind of wait for them to run right into your hands, I suppose. Set out the roller again. They still have a lot of map control, so I know my teammates aren't really painting. I'm just gonna try to pressure the junior on the tower, end up getting him. There's some rain, so I knew I had to back up because I took some hits. Even though they do still have the tower, I'm not too much in a rush. Now this situation was bad. I realized we're all down, and I think this is when I realized we had the DC because of the X on the spawning point. So now my goal, rather than trying to push the tower more, is more trying to survive, keep them from pushing it. So right now I'm looking down, they have a lot of map controls still, and I'm trying to make sure that I'm not dropping right into an enemy so they can shoot me. Figure now is a good time. I believe if I can win this fight against the junior, I'll be in good shape, so that's good. See the roller running after the tower. I try to help paint with my friend, but not jump in, because rollers really want you to be in close corners where you really have to turn your controller to get them. A nice bomb gets them. So once again, even though they're completely wiped, riding on the tower is not very useful because I think I called it nursing the tower before. I'd rather try to paint as much as I can and get some map control so that they don't have so much freedom, especially the rollers. The rollers love having a lot of paint on the ground so they can swim really fast and get to places. They grab the tower again, and I'm still trying to safely throw bombs. My bomb throws aren't that great in this game. There's a roller, I knew they had splashdowns, I kept my distance. Luckily they pushed me. Now I'm trying to find a way to protect the tower. We have 10 seconds left. Don't remember exactly what happens, but I get a little antsy because I know there's only 1 or 2 players left. Unfortunately I go down, and our roller decides that protecting the tower isn't important. So we end up losing the game because they weren't really aware of what was going on. So unfortunately we lost that one, even though I felt like I played really well and did the right things, but we had a DC, so what can you do? And there's the stats sort of inflated because, you know, I'm the X-rank person. Okay, and now we're gonna take a look at the X-rank example. I'm not sure how long this one is gonna take. Whoops, I'm still on the A rank one. There you go. So for X rank, I decided to play Luna because I didn't feel comfortable playing a K-shot on Moray Towers in X rank. And in case we got Snapper as well, I felt better playing Luna. It's easier for me to pick up and just play once rather than needing to warm up a lot. So we're gonna get a 2000 power lobby, which is around the low area of X rank. So it's not, well, in my eyes, it's not too intense compared to like a 2200 lobby or 2400 lobby. Okay, so the goal again is to wait and see. Now, the wait and see tactic is a little risky because you give up a lot of space, especially at higher ranks. At lower ranks, it's fine because you can take advantage of other players kind of wandering around, not really sure what they're doing. But in higher ranks, if you wait and see too long, they'll sort of take advantage of that and you'll be on your heels, which you don't really want to be. So that's kind of a pointer for future or higher ranked games. Let's see what I do. I'm pretty sure I go left because I want to pressure over here. I immediately drop back and make some paint for myself because I knew once I dropped down I didn't have any paint behind me. So in case I did get confronted by an enemy, I wouldn't have any space to move. So I believe that instead of trying to get up close and engaging, that making sure I was mostly safe was a good idea, especially with Luna because I can abuse when they try to climb the walls. So I see a dualies trying to climb the wall, as well as there was a blob on the left. Keeping an eye on both of them. I take out that one on the wall. I'm in a little bit of a pinch right now. So I try to use the little wall here that people don't think of very often for protection, because even though I painted that up before, the area behind me before, it's already covered in the blob ink. so I wouldn't be able to move. So I just did my best to try to get on this wall. The blob read my climb, so it got through both the armor and me. But I see on my map that our teammates are pushing and they're doing a good job, so I jump to them, they sniff out the last enemy. I hop on tower, but I also try to pressure because my weapon can kind of abuse going over walls and things like that. It's kind of hard to get people to stay on tower because we do have an NZAP and a sploosh and a squiffer. But it looks like they're doing a good job. Somehow I fell off the tower with my baller, but I'm just trying to get the checkpoint at this point. As long as I'm not being pressured by shots, I'm okay. These dualies are very slippery. Wasn't able to get them, so with my two teammates on them, I decided to try to push the tower some more. There's a jet back there, so I'm playing it a little risky, still trying to push the tower even though I'm being shot. So that's a decision for you to make. I personally really wanted to get the points as soon as we could, because points are very valuable on this map. But in probably another situation, I would have backed off more from the jet sculpture. So now more pressure on the tower. I'm trying to dance around, get those points, use my baller. I almost fall off, but I'm able to cling to the wall. There's an NZAP I'm pressuring. Dualies there too, but they got away. And we're still kind of trying to push the tower. At least I am. The blob is just going to keep shooting from afar, so I'm not too concerned about it. But then the jet sculpture eventually gets me. My teammates are on it. And... I always paused too late. I was watching to see if they would get that kill. So I can see I have like 3 teammates. Our map control's pretty good. So I could either jump to the NZAP over here fighting the jet, or by the tower where the squiffer is. I wouldn't jump up where the sploosh is because that seems a little risky. I don't know what they're up to. I think I jumped to the NZAP because somehow they knocked the jet sculpture off. And this position gives me an advantage instead of being in front of the tower where the rest of the enemy team is trying to focus on. I get another angle to see what they're looking at and maybe flank around. I don't remember what I do. I think I go, yeah, back towards the tower. I see it being pushed. I trade with the NZAP, which surprised me. More jumps. Looking at your map and jumping is pretty important, especially when you play an aggressive weapon, because you want to know when you can get back into the action. That was an interesting sequence. So I'm kind of looking around to see what's going on. I see my teammate has a torpedo on them. I see another torpedo, and for some reason, I think I saw someone with a special coming up, and whenever I see torpedo, I think bubbles. Even though they don't have a Kensa Jr., I suspected some kind of special is coming, so the splashdown did end up coming out, able to back away from it. I think I still don't even know that they have Dapples on their team, because I guess my focus isn't quite there. Here I'm chasing an NZAP because I believe I'm in range, but I'm not quite. And that ends up getting me punished because I'm pushing a little too hard on something that I don't have an advantage on. They have 2 down, but a lot of our teammates around green ink, so I decide to just swim and trust them to do their thing. They did. I want to try to push... Oh yeah. I wanted to try to push up since I knew my teammates were around the tower. When I saw this splashdown, I tried to take advantage because I knew they were gonna splash down and run away. But the dualies still ended up getting me because my second shot wasn't great, or they got too close. And I pressed my ouch button so that people know that there's an enemy over there. Another jump. I think someone is by our wall. Yeah, the dualies came up. I don't think I saw them. I'm too focused on the tower. A nice direct on the end zap. And I see they're on our side, so I'm gonna wait and see just to be careful. Don't want to be pushed. There's some stuff by the tower. Take kind of a scenic route. Like, not necessarily to try to sneak up on anybody, but just to be out of the way. I knew I had my baller, so I'm kind of safe. But then they chased me down because I guess my teammates were all elsewhere. So things are looking a little risky now because they have a lot of map control. Let me see if I can get it. Yeah, they have a lot of map control even though we're 3 up. It's still risky for all of us, so I think I'm gonna keep checking my map, kind of like a wait and see in this way, to see how my teammates are doing. They're doing alright. It's kind of like a back and forth type of battle. Once again, I'm throwing bombs because I don't want to jump into a pool of green. My bomb aim isn't great, though I do get one there. Oh, and it's nearing the end of the game too. Let me go back. So at this point we have like 30 seconds left. I don't want to do anything too risky because me being respawning at this point of the game is very bad. Is like a key moment. So just waiting for them, they really need the checkpoint, but we can pressure it safely. At a certain point, I decide to kind of jump. Since I got one of them, oh, the end zap surprised me. So seeing the end zap come up and not know where I was, I decided that was the time to try to take advantage and go down. So I dropped down, and then since I'm a blaster, I kind of abuse my blasterness to get the tower. Got a nice double. I ended up clipping it because I was so surprised. And that's how you won the game. So there were a lot of points that I call wait and see moments, or safe bomb throwing moments, things like that, that I think can be very helpful for anyone who struggles with pushing in too much or such like that. So overall, just to repeat, pause here. Don't look at my gear. I don't know what that is. The goal is to instead of getting surprised by the enemies, surprise them in a sense. And that's how you can have an advantage, and that should keep you from running in too much, because if you're always running in, you'll get spooked by whoever pops up. And checking your map, just making sure you have somewhat of an idea of what the situation is in the game. So hopefully that helps. This is my first time doing this kind of video where I could actually rewind. And if you have any more questions, as always, feel free to ask me. If there's anything else you're interested in learning about, feel free to ask me. And with that, I will see you all next time. Bye bye.